when we are listening to esports podcasts, right? Right. So I think that's the direction. We are not going to make hardcore content to make people believe this is a thing. We are making people to slowly get into our lifestyle.
Mm.
We can share our love for this kind of life together. Then maybe a certain group of them will become interested in the hardcore esports like we do. I
Mm.
think that is the goal.
I like that. I like that
That's a
angle.
good
That
conclusion.
angle. Lin.
Yes.
You know, every podcast episode, I try to wear something that is a memory of me with the guests.
Yeah, it's
or
like
related.
a theme of the podcast lah.
The theme of the podcast.
Okay.
So today I have the Echo jacket with me.
Echo.
Yeah. Echo loud, Echo proud.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got this from M5
Oh, M5.
Yeah.
At Jakarta.
at Philippines.
Philippines. Okay, that was
Yeah.
M4.
M4 was
M4
Jakarta.
Okay.
Yes. And that is also where the second time I saw our friend there.
Oh,
Yes.
is it international?
International, of
That's
course.
why we have a laptop here.
Yes, we're going back to Shanghai.
Oh.
So Xiao Ma is with us. So he said that today he wants to ask more questions.
Okay, wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
He is going to ask us questions.
Yes.
I'm scared. I'm not prepared. Is this how the guest feels?
Yes.
Is the door locked?
Yes.
Oh God.
And we have a bodyguard.
Oh, we have a bodyguard as well.
So Xiao Ma, how have you been?
Good, good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Close to Chinese New Year. Well, on the time of recording, by the way.
He's going to Japan actually.
What? He's going to
Yeah.
meet up with Lukman?
He hoped not to meet anyone. It's like, don't talk to me about esports in Japan. I'm on holiday.
So it's literally turned off everything.
Yeah.
Just enjoy. Oh, I wish we have that. I wish I can do that.
Maybe later.
hopefully,
in the
hopefully.
future.
Fingers
Yes.
crossed.
Fingers crossed.
So what's happening in the world of esports now?
Like we have to do our monthly MLBB segment first,
Ah.
right? So MLBB just got introduced to the Esports World Cup. You must heard the news. The MSC and the Women's Cup is going to Saudi this year in the middle of this year. So they will have like $3 million prize pool for the men's tournament.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a lot. And and 500,000 for the woman game, right?
Wow.
That's a lot. Is this the biggest prize pool for MLBB yet?
Right, before we get onto that, I almost forgot to mention our
Yeah.
podcast name. So, of course, this podcast Berlesen, but we have named our exchange here as the Asian Esports Exchange edition. Yes, because
It's like the school exchange program, but it's
Hey.
for podcast.
But for podcast, right? That's the fun part of it.
You guys can come to try to stay in my home.
Well, we got a place to stay now,
we
Shanghai.
don't need to think about hotel.
Yes.
There's a place to stay.
and also transport. Someone's getting a new car.
Oh.
Yeah, ooh.
Here, small question: electric or fuel?
Electric.
It's China.
Oh,
Okay, it's China.
Yeah,
Right.
I saw the video where there's a city that is 100% electric cars, and the sidewalk is scary because you cannot hear any cars. There's nothing like indication of exhaust noise or even
It's like
engine sound.
It's like a ghost car passing you.
yeah, it's scary. I never drove an electric car before. I don't know how it feels.
Well, time to go to Shanghai.
Okay.
Yeah. But coming back to his question, right?
Yeah.
So he asked about the prize pool, whether this is one of the biggest in the Mobile Legends universe. So according to Wikipedia,
Okay.
the M5 prize pool is $900,000.
Wow. So
And
this is
that was like what, 5 million?
3 million for the MSC.
3 million for MSC. MWI is how much again?
500K.
500K. So MWI, which is the Women's Mobile Legends tournament, basically, is it's more than half
wow.
of M5's prize pool.
My God.
So it is crazy big.
This is a serious tournament then.
Yeah, it's serious and it feels like a mini M5. It feels, like how previously in last edition there was a PM WI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
PMWI.
PMWI. The prize pool is bigger than PMGC.
Yes, yes.
Yes, way
It's
bigger.
way like double.
So just because of the prize pool, right? It feels like that becomes like the World Series by itself. And this time, MSC, which is the Mobile Legends Super Cup,
Yeah.
I believe they call it that. They open up to invite all the teams from around the world. So
Okay.
it's basically an M5. It's a World Series.
Well, some people will think of it like, oh, M5, you're going for the glory. You're going for the title. But this one, you go for the money a bit.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely going for the money.
People are going, oh, why should I join this small tournament? Oh, it's because the prize pool is high.
Yeah, but why do you think, right? Although it is not, although the prize pool is bigger, but it is not the M series or the global championship series. The prestige is still towards the one that is that one as compared to this one.
You know, when people are making as a marketing like a standpoint, if you are going to promote something, you need to get a catch out of it. People need something to indicate, oh, I want to join this. If you already have an M5, which is a prestigious tournament, how do you want to promote your tournament as the biggest tournament out of all? You can't compete with the title, so you compete with the prize pool.
Right.
And if all the teams go to this event, it's a world championship by itself.
Yep, it doesn't matter the title, or everyone is already here.
Yeah.
But from a esports organization perspective, right? Like then where do you prioritize? Okay, of course everyone will say that okay, we want both, right?
Yeah,
but
of course,
if you want to put in a tier, like which one will you go for? You want to go for the glory one or you want to go for the prize pool one?
As risky as it sounds, I will go for the money one.
The money one.
Because people that is won the prestige is already a top tier team. If your team is not on the top 3 pedestal and you don't really have a chance technically to win it, in the bigger tournament prize pool, even if you get like 10 place, 11 place, the prize is still closer or bigger than what you're going to get at a prestigious tournament. So I will still go for, a bigger pay than the title itself.
Okay, just to share from the Southeast Asia side, actually not sure about other countries.
I'm not sure.
But if I take example from a PMWI last season, which was what was the prize pool again?
Oh,
30
God.
million
It's
US dollars or
around
something like
that.
that. It's also basically the pre-series to this upcoming Esports World Cup series.
Yeah.
Teams or organizations, so it's by invitational, by the way, and how they did it is that fans can vote for their favorite team to appear at the PMWI.
Yep.
Because of like what you say, the prize pool is good, even though if you're at like last place or something.
Yeah.
Teams and organizations are willing to put out prizes
The
for people who
crazy
vote.
amount, yeah.
Like, okay, if you vote for us, we'll randomly select somebody to give away a motorbike.
Yeah, that was the norm.
Right.
Like legitimately, a few companies did that.
Yes, a few organizations did that here. So that is how much that is prioritized.
Of course, it's the fan vote. That means whatever you give, who get the biggest fan is going to join lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of tricky. Like the news is out. It's rumors that the League of Legends teams are going to Esports World Cup this year.
Oh.
It hasn't been announced yet, but the question is, League already has MSI and the World Championship, right? They can give MSC. They can give Esports World Cup a week or two, but they can't figure out a way to qualify for this tournament. They don't have time for qualification. So how to determine the team which will go to this $1 million event?
Yes.
They are still debating right now. That's what I heard.
All right. So League is not that big in Southeast Asia.
Yes,
Sorry to say.
Yeah, well, it's the truth. Look at what happened to our team.
Lin is a League guy. Yeah. But same goes for Dota. But yeah, anyway, that's a different conversation.
We kawan-kawan lah.
We friend. But I guess it depends on the game publisher how they want to integrate it to the World Cup series, right? So like for example, you mentioned about MWI and MSC. They already have an integration
Yeah,
there.
they already
Basically,
have.
they just plug whatever IP they have and then they just park it there, and the prize pools become super big. I believe it would be the same, not announced yet, but I predict that it will be the same for PMWI. You also take like the top teams from each country, and then maybe there's a fan voting. So you already have that system that you plug and play. But I agree with you. If there might be some other games that clash of calendar,
Yeah, yeah,
how they
yeah.
want to make it there. And you have more games this time at the Esports World Cup. So I'm not too sure. I guess it really depends on how much a publisher would want to collaborate with the Esports World Cup to integrate it together.
The winner of this whole argument is the small teams.
Mm.
They have a chance. Like, oh, you don't have a chance to go to Worlds or whatever the case may be, the big tournaments. So you okay, let's just go to this tournament. So let's just get some money in our pocket so the organization is alive.
But you know what? For the benefit of Xiao Ma, so also last year there was a Sea Games, Southeast Asia Games that
Mm.
featured esports.
Yeah.
So I was part of that for Malaysia that time. So I knew that there are most games that are especially popular in Southeast Asia. They open up the esports calendar so that Sea Games can be included as part of their respective game esports calendar. But there are certain games who did not open up, so they will
Ah.
still run their partner league running, and it's a FPS game, by the way. They still run their partner league, and because of that, some countries are not able to get the top tier teams or top
Oh.
tier players. So you cannot get players like Davai, or I just mentioned it already, like Jing, or
Yeah.
basically I mean the best example is like the Paper X Boys,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Because they are locked in with a partnership contract, and the team is so because of the esports calendar does not fit
Yeah.
that event, so they cannot go. But that be, since we have a lot of other games for this esports World Cup, right? There might be some games later on that will face the same situation,
It will.
that you won't get the tier one teams. Maybe like the League of Legends, like what you mentioned.
Can you guys talk about how do teams from Southeast Asia go to MSC?
Oh.
Okay, so there's already a list of slots for MSC now. So if I take I'm going to need to refer this because it's a whole long list. Yeah,
So
send it to you later.
do they just win their regional league so they win a slot in the MSC?
Yes, so that is the baseline. You win your own regional league and then you go. But it also depends on which country you're from. So there are some countries that get more slots. So if you have more slots, meaning that probably the number one and number two team will get it. Okay, so I have the announcement here. I'm looking at it. So, for example, if we talk about, oh man, it went away. Um, okay, so so actually, he has not announced how many slot per country, but he has announced the amount of countries. I'll give you the screenshot later. We can show it up. Like for example, Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, Myanmar, Indonesia, Philippines. Of course, these are the main countries of Mobile Legends in Southeast Asia. Uh, by rule of thumb, the champion will automatically qualify to MSC. For maybe certain countries that perform better, like Philippines and Indonesia, I think they are expected to get like maybe 2 or 3 slots. So if they get 2 or 3 slots, meaning that the second and third place will go. So there is already a good integration from the MSC because of previous editions to lead to there.
Uh, the reason that I want to ask you about that is because MSC this year or Esports World Cup this year is super important for the Chinese Sea. So we
Mm.
don't have a league already. So the company Muto, they are treating this MC as a huge opportunity to integrate the Chinese scene into the international scene.
Mm.
So they are trying to build the ladder of tournament, building up to the MCs this year. Um, they are going to have a series of official tournament, but not partnered, just maybe open qualifier, but the teams will got approved by the by Muto, and they will arrange a 2 months tournament. So the teams will get, I think that's 2 slots from China to go to MSC.
2 slots from China to go MSC.
So they are using it as a qualifier then. That's technically what they're doing.
Yes.
But okay, I'm wondering right now for China, right? If it's 2 slots allocated to MSC, how do they do the qualifiers there? Because they don't have MPL China.
They will have a series of programs. They Let me try again. They will have a series of programs. So they start to evaluate every teams that are interested in MLBB. If the teams or organization are approved, they will arrange a tournament for them. They will do a tournament from March to April. It's called official tournament. Not no official name yet, but it's called official tournament. And the upper bracket will go to a qualification which will go to have a which like a upper. Let me try it
The
again.
top two.
No. They have, because Lin mentioned to me I have to restart the question.
Don't stress about it. Don't stress about it.
Sentence. Yeah. So I want to give a like complete answer. It's okay. Let me try. They will start a tournament from April to March to April, and the upper bracket will go to a qualification, which go to esports World Cup directly, and the lower bracket will go to another qualification to get the the other slot. So there will be 2 slots in Saudi this year.
So this happened in League of Legends before this. I think it's 2018, the MSI qualification. If you remember for League of Legends, they were doing something that is similar. So that you the tournament run like normal. So anyone that's in the upper bracket is going to a tournament, is qualified to MSI. Everyone in lower bracket didn't qualify to MSI. It's like
Yeah.
just segregating them based on the tournament that's going on. You are like in China is, I think, deprived of time. They don't have enough time to make their own MPL. So that is their MPL lah.
Yes. It's not too early for MPR. Maybe it's just too early for a normal grassroots tournament because, like I told you, there were not too many players yet. They are still pushing marketing the game alongside the way. So I think that's like 2 level of running. The first level, professional level, they got all the big orgs into the sea, and they are trying to recruit as many people they know to go to the esports World Cup, and they can use this as a big promotion opportunity to push out the normal game to the normal players.
Yeah, and I can tell you that for MSC, there is it is very very popular here. Like you will teams will always talk about it. Teams will invest towards there, and plus with this sort of prize pool, even it's going to go even crazier from the odds.
It's going to
in
double
Southeast
fold.
Asia. It's going to double fold. If we talk about like Mobile Legends specifically, like in the context of Malaysia at least, because I think that if we talk about Philippines and also Indonesia, they are already very solid.
Yes.
But in Malaysia, we still have some room to grow. There has been a lot of investment from all these orgs this year for when it comes to bringing in import players, import coaches, just to really put in a lot of it. And I think one of the reason is because of the giant prize pool by MSC and the fact that M6 is happening in Malaysia. So you want to be playing in home ground, of course. But I think one of the reasons for the all-in investment for a lot of these orgs, even tier 2 teams are putting in MPL players to play.
God,
Yeah,
tier
Bounty Esports just qualified yesterday from our day of recording, by the way, from Sarawak. And they have like people like Dominus, yeah, your old Geek fan people.
Oh, I miss him.
Yeah, yeah. So he's going to be back in MPL, and I think that it is. The maturity of Mobile Legends in Southeast Asia is already definitely there. That teams and orgs are really willing to invest. Looking at the roadmap, but I'm wondering, like in China, so we know KGB and also Nova, and there were two other teams that actually didn't qualify to M5 Wildcard. I forgot which are the two teams. Uh, is there going to be a growth of esports organization in China for this series?
And I think the Mutons, like I told you, the April, March and the April tournament will be a good starting point for all the organization in China. I think it's still too early for us to see if the organization in China are really interested in it. After that, like 2 months from now, we can tell. Okay, we have all the organization here. And I talked to one of the owner of a small organization in China. He mentioned, I don't want to diss anybody. Like he mentioned the HOK system or the is kind of too stable right now. There's nothing new happening, and it's really hard to grow into a truly global esports title in the future. And there's a Chinese market is kind of already there. There's nothing to go. So if an organization want to grow more or want to try a different model, they have to consider MLBB.
Mm.
Like I talked to the head of Chinese esports of Mutong. Uh, he said the most important experience they learned from the overseas market was open. They want their ecosystem to be very open. Like I told you before, the KPL they control everything, so they give homework to every organization. You have to have collab with celebrities. You have to collab with sports guys, and they work as a big unit. But in MLBB, I'm so curious how open is it in Southeast Asia, and do organization in Southeast Asia do they make money?
Oh, that is a
Oh.
okay. I'll let you go.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, money is good, but I don't think it's as like how do I explain it without making it sound like it's a bit. I would say the biggest money maker for esport is MLBB and PUBG Mobile.
Okay,
Whatever the case may be, like tournament prize pool, but more so merch.
but do organizations go green with that money?
Barely. The Malay word is parasidok. So that means
Okay,
they,
yeah,
they, they can
it's up
they
here.
can survive. But making money, no. It's going to be the other aspect of it. Having sponsorship. That's the main way for them to really really make money to really like be green in the year. Uh, More so on merch is the easiest way to make money because people are going to support whatever they can. And there's no other way for organization to make money except for merch and also sponsorship. They can't make a membership thing. Most of people already tried to do that. So, for example, oh, you want to meet, you join our membership, then you have a chance to meet with the player, this and that. It doesn't work. People don't really care about it because experience, yes, you can get experience, but there's a lot of other way you can interact with the players other than giving money to the organization. So, organization don't do that anymore. So yeah, merch is the easiest way for people to organization to really make money lah.
Okay, so on the business side of things, right? From my view, is that, and I hear this from a lot of org owners, team managers, and all that. Making money in esports is a struggle, and I'll explain why. Because if we look at prize pools, if we look at prize pools, right? player gets majority of the prize pool.
Yes.
Maybe an org in average maybe gets 20%, at
Yeah,
most
also.
30%, maybe. Exponentially out of this world 50%, but I don't think that
I
happens.
never heard.
Yeah, but I
50%.
think the range will be about like 20%. I think that's the average range. So 20%, and that also depends on how much prize pool do you get,
Yeah.
whether you are champion or not. If you're like last place, then
You're not going to get anything technically.
yeah, you can't even pay the water bill, right? Probably.
Yeah.
So for organizations to really bank on prize pool, I would say it's not. But I think that. Before I go to what I think, to answer the question is that I think that most organizations, at least in our region, are actually not directly profitable. Yes, because the overhead is very high. If you gotta think about it, you have to pay the player
Yep.
salaries, coaches, managers, and then you need to have a gaming house. You cannot just park them in an office. Sometimes you can, but most orgs they would just go for like, okay, we just give you your own private space, 5 people in the gaming house, 10 people, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
In the gaming house. So that's one, and then you have to invest on content. You must invest on content because that's the key for esports organization. And there are some requirements as well from some of the leagues to have constant content
Yep.
from the pro teams. So that has to be one investment already. Now, as far as I know, at least in Malaysia, right? As far as I know, and this is just based on hearsay, there's probably only one org that really, really makes money. All right, there's only one org, the one that sells the most jerseys.
Wait a minute. Okay. Versus. I have two names. Either
The other one,
or.
yeah. Uh, I didn't say it.
Am I going to get in trouble?
But we need to. We can always beep that up. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, there's only one org that really makes money out of jersey sales, and I can understand why, because when I see them, whenever they have a merch booth, it's like the line will be like
Yeah, it's crazy.
crazy
Long.
queue,
Yeah.
right? Like there's this crazy queue and there's this crazy demand, even for online sales. So I can see that yes, they probably will go green. Not only like borderline green, like we're like okay,
Yep,
we're making
the
good money.
real green.
We're making good money, right? Dark
Yeah.
green.
How many jerseys do they sell? Can you give me
Okay, let's
like
just see
a guess?
how many merch do they have per season. I think that will show how much they are selling.
Okay, can you give a rough?
I remember in a tournament they will have like 4 or 5 type of like lifestyle, the jersey itself,
Oh,
that they
they
have
have
the
different
varsity.
style.
Correct.
Yes, it's because people are demanding of it. That's how much you can imagine how much sales they're going to have by the types of they're already selling every season.
Yeah, and they will easily sell in thousands, definitely
I
thousands.
can't say much about
I
that.
I can't I don't know the exact number, right? But
Yeah.
it's
It's a lot.
it's always very obvious that the merch sales are always out. Like even if you put a $100 jacket once, it was sold out as well.
Yeah.
As far as I know,
Wow.
yeah, $100. So you can imagine like if people are willing to pay at that price point for that org, then what else for the other lower price
Yeah.
merchandise, right? They're surely sold out a lot.
When you go to an event, an esport event, mostly you're going to see their jersey like in the crowd, like
Yep.
the majority of it.
Yes, and then of course they make money out of the other things as well, from sponsorships and all that. So I think that is quite a nice success story. That is quite an outlier in a good way that is.
Yeah.
But for the others, then honestly, if you ask me how, right? Like
Yeah.
you depend on sponsorship money. Great, but this is what I learned right from some of the orgs that actually shared this story to me. It's nice to have a lot of sponsors, but when you have a lot of sponsors, your commitment goes up.
Yep.
Yes, you need to create content. Let's say you have 10 sponsors. Great. Oh, good. 10 income money comes in. But you need to spend on 10 different content streams.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, to give back to the sponsor, right?
Yeah.
So that also means that you need to reinvest in the overhead of your organization. So your OPEX goes up, operating expenses
Operating
goes up,
expenses, yeah.
and it just turns around, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Then you need to think about the ROI. How do you, how much job do you need, and if this like if you have too many jobs, when are you going to shoot all of it?
yes,
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts.
a lot of moving parts, and then you're also wondering, is this sponsor going to be with you forever for you to spend that OPEX? Yeah. What if you spend that OPEX and then the sponsor after 2 months they say, oh, we ran out of marketing budget, we cannot spend anymore, we have to
Yeah,
pull out the program.
yeah.
Then what happens to your already invested OPEX?
My God. Yeah.
Yeah. So it becomes an issue there, right? So I could understand why organizations spend wisely. I have also seen organizations that really boom their spending just to get retrenched after that when one of the major sponsors pulled out. So there is always this very fine balance of like, okay, we need to spend enough to satisfy the sponsors so we can get more sponsors, but at the same time, we cannot overspend in case the sponsor pulls out or the market crashes.
Hmm.
Yeah. So at least that's what the view that I see here in Southeast Asia or Malaysia, either one.
I mean, you said maybe only one or two are really making money. So how do other club or organizations survive?
Mm. I think some of them are okay making money, but they're not like
They
rich.
are rolling lah.
They're okay. They're like borderline.
Hmm.
But I still feel that there are a lot that is still trying to hit the borderlines,
Yeah,
try to hit the big even.
yeah. So
Do they get investment from outside?
yeah, that's the question. Like most of them are getting investment. So they are trying to like make work make the money rolling
Mm.
by doing this, by doing that, so that at least they can like stay alive, Parasidong
Yeah.
style.
I also want to share as well, like in Malaysia, I wouldn't want to name, but there are orgs that are also funded by the government.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it may not be like the country government, but it could be the state government. And why this funding happens, right? Is because of this is an investment for the growth of the youth community from government perspective. So to them, it's like, esports is something that can be turned into something healthy if it's done right. So they invest in the development of esports through these orgs, and they will do their activities, and of course they will show back their ROI back to the government. That means what the government would look for. Some of the things is community building, education to the public, or building new proper athletes, esports athletes, and all that. So that is how some of these investment come in. So at least that would cover their OPEX. But are they rich? Can they ball? Can
Yeah,
they like, okay, can I sign a big star name like Faker with the money that I have? No, they can't.
they
But
can't.
they can still operate, which is okay.
That's where people are in esport is like at least we are running kind of
Mm.
mentality. That's what they want lah for org. But of course they are still trying to promote themselves so that people will look beyond the esport so that they can get money outside of esport as well.
Mm.
Like for example, Solos, most of his promotional stuff is not esport related.
Correct, yeah.
The deodorant, the shampoo. That is not technically esport stuff, but that's where the money comes in. So,
Yeah.
yeah, why not?
And I agree. If we talk about the economics of esports in Southeast Asia, and the last episode we talked about how it was in China, right? You have non-esports brands investing into leagues.
Mhm.
I think that for us in the esports community or esports bubble, I always call it, we need to find a way to break through this bubble to reach out to non-esports, typical esports brands. And how do we do that is that whether we are esports orgs or influencers or whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
you need to see yourself as a marketing
Yep.
a tool,
Mhm.
right? Or a marketing platform, marketing agency. That is how I think it should shift. But in order for it to shift towards there, that means the talent or the org or whoever who's involved in the ecosystem must be versatile enough to be able to not only talk about esports but things outside of esports. But then you can go the two-way. First, you can go out by talking about non-esports, and for the non-esports to understand what is your reach and understand why the esports market should be something that they invest in. So, in my opinion, looking in that view, put aside the gaming thing, the whole competitive thing, but the story should be told to those who are non-esports. Say that our target audience is age so and so,
Yes.
gender so and so, interest so and so. Then this becomes a after you dissect the data, then it makes sense for them to why it goes in. Then only you talk about the whole esports thing. Because if you talk about esports thing to the outside of industries that are not within esports, they will just think that, oh, so it has to be only gaming market. Right? But we shower,
Yeah.
we shower, we eat, we do all these things as well. So I see there's this opportunity. It's just a matter of storytelling to each other on how we can break through that, so that orgs hopefully can be more sustainable with these kind of success stories.
Yeah.
Do teams
Oh,
do
sorry.
teams in do teams in Malaysia have like home city?
Ah, I so like state teams.
Yes, they
Yes,
do.
they are.
Yes, they have. They even have school teams as well. Like for
Mm.
example, they
Varsity teams.
yeah, it was just grassroots teams, varsity teams, that kind of stuff. But that is mostly hobbyist. That's not organization. Do
I
you
mean,
have any
can
organization?
can I
Okay.
ask a question? Like, do professional teams have home city?
Actually, there is. There is.
Not all, but
Yeah.
there is
There
some.
is like NC, which is Negeri Sembilan.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
Yeah.
Selangor also have, Johor also have.
Oh yeah, Selangor also
So
has.
yeah, it's
Yes.
with the football team as well, the FC.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I want to share a fun fact as well, right?
Mhm.
So like let's say for example Selangor, which is if you look at MPL Malaysia, there's this team called Yudu Red Giants. So they are a team born out of the football club of Selangor. So there was one time I was at a local shop. I was going in, and then this guy he doesn't watch Mobile Legends. He doesn't watch esports. But he said, "Oh, I saw you at M5 Wildcard. You were doing content there." I was like, "Yeah, I'm there."
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Of course
see.
you're there.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, yeah, that was me, and I see him all the time, but we never talk
Mhm.
because we never had a topic. He was
Yeah.
just taking care of the store,
Mm.
and then he was telling me that, "Oh, I actually happened to go to M5 Wildcard, and I saw you there." And then I asked, "Oh, so you watch Mobile Legends?" "Oh no, I actually don't watch." Then why?
Oh.
Yeah, he told me upfront, "I don't follow Mobile Legends or MPL and all that." Then I asked him, "So then why are you there?" Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he says, "Oh, because of the Red Giants, the football club,
The football class. So they okay.
I got into Mobile Legends after that."
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can see that there's this attraction from the outside through the investments of this non-esports teams
Yeah.
to bring in outside people in. Yeah, so that's already opening a door.
Then logically, if you think about it, if you want to promote some item, an item that is in a specific price range, not price range, age gap, you want to go to the people who are expert in that age gap, which is esports lah.
Yeah,
So we are the expert of their price range again. The
age
age
gap.
gap, the
Yeah,
age gap.
yeah,
Mm.
age range.
Yeah, yeah. So, why I want to mention home city is because from like 20 years ago, I think the United States had a certain plan of that. Then China have some organizations organizations they want to have home city, and Overwatch happened, and right. So
Uh,
first want to talk about home cities in China. A lot of orgs like the LPL, like KPL, they have a name, a city name in front of their
oh
organization.
yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that's two points. One, they want to make an identity,
Mhm.
like we belong to this city, so people from this city come to watch us and support us. But I think it's hard. We go to no esports organization online, right?
Mhm.
So we are not easily support one team because of just one name. They must have some special connection to one city to
Mhm.
actually attractive from that city. Like one example I have to mention is Team WE World Elite.
Mhm.
the
WE.
very old organization in China. Their owners are from Xi'an, uh, northwestern city in in China, a really old city with a lot of history. So they had a deal with the local, not the city, like the level on the city is the district government. So they have some benefits about the home court and all the policies. They even have a like welcome ceremony for them from the city.
But
Uh,
is that I'm curious? Is that like a um recognized by like the city mayor or the state itself, or
district like
is that
the
recognized by the
level.
district?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
called like Xi'an Qujiang. Qujiang is the district name, so it's named after the district.
Oh.
But is that recognized by the people there, or it is just this group of community that just borrows the name?
Oh, okay. You mean by the community?
Yeah.
I think the great thing is that they have a venue there, their own home venue. So the district from that place can go to this venue.
Oh,
If
okay.
you only have a name with their own name and I can only watch it online, I will never become really like attached to this organization, right?
So it's more of the attachments, like, oh, this is my city, no
City
matter what they
pride.
do, it's the city
Yeah,
pride
city
thing,
pride.
right?
This is
Y-
go back to the culture of American like football or basketball and all
Mm.
that. They have like Chicago, blah blah blah,
Ah.
New York Lakers, something something. For them, it is a traditional like thing to have like a city
Mm.
pride, but in Malaysia, because usually an esport team is all around Malaysia. It's not
Mm.
really like from a specific place only. Uh, it's quite hard.
But you can argue that like football teams, for example, we take like big ones like
Yeah, yeah.
Liverpool
Mm.
or Manchester City. I don't want to say the red one is a big one, but yeah, those teams, right? Like those teams, their players are not necessarily from Liverpool
Mhm.
or from Manchester.
Yeah,
They can
yeah.
come from everywhere.
Mhm.
But somehow the people there associate themselves so much with the name, the club name itself.
Mhm.
Yeah,
When you are that big, yes, you can go in
yeah.
that route.
Why can't esports be like that?
Why can't esport be
I,
like that?
I think land event, or we call it road show, is very important. Like people always consider esports as an
Mhm.
online sports,
Ah,
but mm, first of all, you can't really make much money from an online activity
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
because we don't sell media rights, unfortunately. And second, you can experience audience. I think the most beautiful, because I go to a lot of events. So the most important thing about the live events is the audience. The audience, the experience too.
Mm.
So if I have, for example, in Xi'an, I have all the people. Okay, I didn't know you, but you actually live next door. We come to the same venue and we meet each other week after week. That's the community.
Mm.
Yep,
That's
yep.
a bond building. But it's I think that's one point. From the other point, from the government point, not the central government, but the like district government, because that's maybe a broader topic, because China is kind of really industrial country right now. So if they want to grow and without much pollution, they want to have more innovative stuff going on, like cultural or entertainment or gaming. So maybe some government can give some really good policies for the organization. So if there are opportunities, maybe central, maybe the city government, maybe the district government, or maybe the local esports association, they get in touch with professional teams, and they can clap from there.
Mhm.
But a lot of people are still a lot of organizations are still stuck in Shanghai because they think, okay, Shanghai is the biggest city and the biggest esports center, but they don't really have a unique bond with this city. Like everyone can call it Shanghai because most games are played in Shanghai, but Shanghai people are not going to support that kind of team because they know it's normal. It's actually very smart to find a city that you can build a bond in, and they really support you. Then you can become a local brand, and and that's what I mentioned. That's related to what I mentioned last time. I think the the esports era is going to uh, from grassroots era to the developer era, and the third point is like the government and the developers they have to clap a little bit together, because we all know, like you said, only one or two orgs in MLPL Malaysia is making money, right? So esports team have to make use of their influence somewhere. Maybe it's to clap with government.
Mm. Yeah, I guess that's why the whole Red Giant story came in, and also like in eFootball, there's also JDT, the
Yep,
Johor
the
team.
Johor team.
Spoke to you online about it. They are a state. Uh, they are a state that also has the eFootball team also.
Yep.
That's where they come in. But I do agree with the having this sentiment of the state pride.
Yes.
I like the narrative. I like the storyline. If we take in the context of Malaysia, not every state has that super pride. You know, like okay, I can take myself for example, right? So I'm born, raised, bred, everything in Kuala Lumpur, but we don't have a state pride,
No.
right? And I'm not saying that because this guy born there. How can you say we don't have state pride? Okay, for whoever who's from Kuala Lumpur, okay, let's be real, okay, let's be real, because I'm also born here. If we compare ourselves with, let's say, from Sarawak, for example.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah,
Oh.
if you compare yourself with,
Yeah.
with Kelantan, for
Yeah.
example,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like the state pride is next level, and I think this is a culture thing that is built over time. It's not
Yes.
only okay, you just do one thing and then that happens, right? So if you and what I noticed is that, let's say for example MPL, as of this recording, yesterday Bounty Esports, the team from Sarawak. Actually, their players are not all from Sarawak.
Yeah.
They have a mixed players, right? Dominus is not from Sarawak for
It's not
sure.
from
Right? They have a few
Sarawak.
Filipino players and all that, but they somehow carry the Sarawak pride. Like
Yeah.
when I did like my content, I just talk about the old Bounty Esports, whatever. You get to see a lot of Sarawak people supporting the team, although the team is not a full Sarawak team.
Yeah.
It's because they have the state pride for the team. That is how strong the state pride is for certain states.
It's also because of sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
it's also because of this desaturation. Like there's so much teams from Kuala Lumpur. How do you want to get the pride there when you're fighting against yourself every time of the tournament?
Maybe that's what the Shanghai thing is about, right?
Yes,
It's the
everyone
same.
calls it Shanghai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's a Shanghai team.
Everyone's
Like,
Shanghai.
oh, everyone's a KL team because yeah, that's where a lot of teams come from.
When you
And,
say like Shanghai Pride, it's like 20 teams behind you.
Yeah.
But this one is like Sarawak, so we know if you say, oh, a Sarawak team, we know it's one team. So I think that's also like the reasoning why become desaturated.
yeah, yeah, that's why I'm always very happy to see like people from some of these states who are very pride about their. We don't care what sport or what event it is. We want to support. Oh, that's our guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, from our state, we support him.
So let me give you an example then. Can't you be a Sarawak Pride when your team is in KL? Like for
Good
example, you
question.
have a
Good question.
Shanghai team that's in Shanghai, but you want to say, oh, I'm a so and so Pride location, another location Pride. Can you do that?
The narrative is not as big. I mean, we
Yeah.
do have some players who are from, like, let's say Sarawak, for
Yeah,
example, like, but they are in KL. But you don't get that.
When you make like TikTok video, you are in KL.
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like you are bringing the pride because you're not there.
Yeah,
I
somehow,
mean,
right?
I mean, it depends on the experience. Like I said, if you have a venue that you can go to they whenever wherever you came from, like you can build a bond with a team that you live in. You know,
Mm.
it's different. Uh, One thing I want to say is, mm, I have to mention Overwatch League again. So
Okay. Yeah, it's a good example. Yeah.
It is a good
yeah,
example. Yeah.
it's really hard to support team like uh Shanghai Dragons because of what I said, and because of it's just how can I say it? Like there are too many Koreans in that team. Like Overwatch League.
Oh, understand, understand.
Okay. Okay.
No,
Okay.
no, no. It's not because they are Korean. It's because they are not Chinese, but they
Yes.
represent Chinese,
Mm.
China.
Right.
It's so hard to build a connection with them. I like for clarification. I have a lot of Korean friends.
We understand. I think people will understand that as well.
Yeah,
It's not because of that. Yeah.
yeah. So I think Overwatch League is a basically they had a grassroots scene for 1 or 2 years.
Uh-huh.
They just killed everything to build such a giant stuff called Overwatch League, right? Only those certain teams who pay the millions of dollars can get a name of a certain city, and they can build a team full of top talent. That's great.
Mm.
But top talents when the like top talent because the grassroots scene was killed.
Mm.
So they don't have a local talent to go to a local team. They don't have the pipeline.
Mm.
I think that's the one sad thing about the Overwatch League. And the other thing about Overwatch League is that we have to talk about the esports winter, right?
Mm. Okay. Do you know what the esports winter
I
is?
have no
Yeah,
idea.
we only have one season here. So,
No, we have two.
uh, rain
Rain
and
and hot.
hot.
Yeah, that's the only two seasons we
Okay,
have.
so maybe you can explain to us and also the entire audience what the esports winter is. So, for the benefit of us and also maybe some of the audience out there, like what is esports winter?
Basically, uh, we have to take Overwatch League as example, as well as all the major rights League of Legends leagues. They uh, they had millions of viewers like 5 or 7 years ago. So they want to build it as international sports, just like American sports. We have to remember, first of all, these companies are from America. So when they envisioned the whole esports future, they had an American sports future picture in their head. So they want to build an NFL or NBA for esports, and they had all the big consulting companies to back them up. So the esports are going to sell millions of tickets, media rights, all sort of stuff to all the traditional sports investment or other investors. So all the investors or VC money came in with millions and bought all the orgs like in LCS we had Golden Guardians who was owned by Golden State Warriors and Team Liquid obviously had Disney money, and Overwatch we had some similar stories there. So, but after 5 or 7 years, people recognize we can sell media rights. So the first time they sell, hold on, I have to double check it or whatever. Let's roll with it. So so first deal Overwatch League they did with Twitch. They published it as a big accomplishment for them. But after that, Twitch noticed that we don't need to pay so much to you guys, right? We are the only big platform for English viewers. So the next one is much smaller And a major part of the deal between Blizzard and Twitch was about the cloud service by Amazon. They branded it as a media rights deal, and later there's no renewal. It's the same stuff in League of Legends. So we haven't seen much news about media rights. So you guys must know that the media rights is the biggest income of the traditional sports. They had a Premier League. They had a, I think, 40 or 50 billion deal with Apple TV to just broadcast in America. So, but nobody is going to get that kind of a deal in esports. Then the investment start to sink. We are losing money year after year, and we can't even get a median media rights deal done. So some orgs just decide to cut it, like the Arsenal's esports orgs. They just disband their esports division. They don't want anything in return. They just want to stop losing money. That's why we see the Overwatch League. The teams voted to disband the league, and it affects a lot of things. It changes the developers thinking about esports. So now we see Riot Games is cutting 11% of their employees. Not all esports people, but some.
11, that's a lot.
Yeah, like they cut a lot of small projects, but they also cut a lot of like uh, observers and the tournament talent management from LEC or other leagues. They just want to uh, cut all the lot, make the loss a little bit lower, and we see the Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, they cut the Overwatch operation team to like several people. So it's a really tough time for esports in general, and I'm curious how the situation is like in your region, not only Malaysia, like Southeast Asia in general.
Man.
Okay,
Tough, tough.
you
Yeah,
want me to go first?
you go first. You got need to
All
think about
right.
it. There's a lot of
All right.
sensitive stuff.
Okay, so I think in at least from my observation in Southeast Asia, I don't think we are too affected by the esports winter. That's why when you told me the first time that esports winter this year, I go like esports what?
Okay,
Yeah.
tell you the truth. I thought he's talking about a tournament that is on winter. That was the first thing that I
That
thought
was your
of.
first thought, right?
That
A
was
winter
thought of
tournament.
tournament.
Yeah. So I don't think we are too affected, at least in Southeast Asia. I do know there are some orgs who downsize, and I could understand why. I will give a bigger thought process on that later on, not including esports org soon. But if we talk about only esports, I don't think we are too affected here, and I think partly because of a lot of this HQs, right? HQs, they are outside of Southeast Asia.
Yes.
Like whether they're in the West or maybe even in China. So that's why a lot of the overhead, the OPEX is there. And if they were to like cut, then maybe it would be in those regions where you have more people to,
Yeah.
aim for in. But I recently had a conversation with my ex-boss who works in e-commerce and is very big e-commerce. It's one of the related to but I think this news is public by now, right? So I think we can mention. Um, no, sorry, not that one.
Shopify.
Okay, Lazada. So Lazada is under another
Lazada
Alibaba,
is
if I'm not
under
mistaken.
Alibaba,
Yeah,
yes.
Alibaba Group. So Lazada has also announced early this year, and this is already publicly known, so we can talk about it,
Okay.
that they laid off a lot of their employees around.
Oh, okay.
So I was
Yeah.
having a conversation with this person who was my ex-boss, and I was asking the situation there. So just to summarize the conversation that we have, it gives me the thought process that like there is, especially when it comes to things that are digital, a digital new age, new era, there is so much progress in the world that two things can happen. Number one, a lot of investment can happen.
Yes.
So this relates to maybe esports as well. A lot of investment can happen. People hiring a lot of people, and hiring is very expensive. You have your fixed overhead every month. You hire a lot of people. When you have people, then you need to have more space. You get open up new offices and all that.
You need to pay for
But
electricity,
everything, right? And then because the market is still shifting a lot, then this is the thing about technology and even like e-commerce itself and all. The market shifts a lot that you thought that okay, this will be the direction for me in like the next 5-10 years, whatever it is, right? And then when the market shifts,
Yeah.
boom, everything just switches, and then you need to realign your business.
Yes.
So if I take the COVID time for example, right, pandemic time, I think there were a lot of investment on digital, logistics, this sort of things. But when we come out of the pandemic era, all of a sudden all this just goes away because people don't shop online as much.
As
They
before,
still
yeah.
do, but they don't shop as much during the pandemic. People don't consume digital content as much as compared to the pandemic. I remember when I was doing live stream during the pandemic, my views was like, wow,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah. But after that, then it's just how the market shifts. And this is what happens when the market shifts just like that. And because we're in the digital era, this market shifts very fast. The investment that has already been made and locked in by some of these companies, then they have to reshift their business, and unfortunately it just happens. It's a business decision that happens to the people. Yeah. But if they don't do that, then it's going to be even worse for the entire organization.
True,
So they
yeah.
just make a business decision, in my opinion. And I think that is why also how this esports winter thing comes in. You see something good, maybe you thought that okay, it's 5 to 10 year investment,
Yeah.
but then maybe after the first or second year, oh, the market shifts and the behavior and what the audience wants goes to something else. So you have to like, oh, my 5 to 10 year plan did not work out, so I have to unfortunately pull the plug and
Yeah.
refocus onto something else.
Yeah, that's why in Malaysia we don't really have that. But you don't hear any restructuring that much for esport in Malaysia.
Yeah, not
I
that.
feel like esport in Malaysia is still relatively new. What I mean is most people are experimenting with a lot of stuff, and when people are hiring in esport organizing are hiring someone, they are not going to be doing only one thing. They are going to be holding on to multiple style or multiple workload at the same time. So,
Yeah.
if for example there is going to be a restructure, or this guy is already touching like 3 other spots that they can handle, so we don't need to rehire. Esport in Malaysia is really niche, it's really small. So the talent pool for staff as well is not that huge.
Yeah. So I had
And
I want to add on to that point as well, right? So I had this conversation with a friend from Thailand who's
Okay.
esports coach
Okay.
of one of the best PUBG Mobile teams in Thailand.
Who is it?
Yeah, I can guess. But anyway, so actually, it's a positive thing, right? So he was also sharing that he himself, although he is focused onto one game as an esports coach, and he's doing very well there. His team is doing very well. But he also wants to expand his scope to be like head of esports level, that he can still be under the same organization, but he can oversee like other games in the esports organization. So he was also sharing to me some of the games that they plan to invest in. I don't think I can share. It
Yeah,
is a
okay.
private conversation because it's not out officially yet. But it just shows that he himself as an individual, he knows that okay, he needs to be expanding his scope. If not, at some point he might be out, right? Yeah. What if the esports winter kicks in onto his game segment or his org or whatever, that he'll be out. At least he has other skill sets to be in. And I think that is the trend in Southeast Asia, that people who are within esports generally are multi-skilled.
Yep.
Yeah, multi-skilled. You try to broaden as much as possible. So, and I think that is what that also leads to the fact that we are not affected with the esports winter that much. So that's point number one. Point number two, I also want to add on. My observation is that I think we're very careful with our spending. in Southeast Asia.
It's true.
For the most part, I can't generalize, but I'm just saying this as a as a big overview. I think in general, there is careful enough spending by whether organizations or individuals investing in something in Southeast Asia. So, but of course, the trade off is that, well, you're not taking as much risk. Well, then the other trade off is that, well, if you take so much risk, then look what happens. Can your
Yeah, can you
organization
survive?
survive in 2 or 3 years' time, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, I guess that is where we are maybe a little bit more conservative in terms of spending. That's why we are not too affected by it.
Yeah, okay. That's why I want to come to Southeast East Asia to do content with you guys. That's I've noticed Southeast Asia is still quite stable and growing. So I want to share my point of view of this past few years because, like you said, folks in China or in America were not really careful with their spending at all. And at that time, we have a lot of money coming from outside of esports. They basically a lot of money came to the streaming service, stream platforms. We had all the several stream platforms. They fight each other, so they have to pay big bucks to get good streamers, popular streamers from each other, and they raised the bar of streamer series. Good for them. They made money. They made a lot of money, or they went to jail. Some of them.
Oh, wait, what?
Wait, but what?
Huh?
No, no.
Really? Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
So
Right.
a lot of streamer had a different. We can talk about it after this
Yeah.
recording.
Off
Okay.
camera.
Yeah. So let me restart it. Like the streaming platforms attract a lot of money. They even want to get professional players to retire early to become a full-time streamer.
Mm.
So so the streaming money definitely provide a lot to the esports scene,
Mhm,
but it has always been a threat to the esports scene in China.
mhm. It's like the pro player Sneaky from League of Legends. He quit being a professional player. He's not retiring because he was still young at that time. Now he's a full time streamer and also a full time cosplayer. Cross player.
Yes.
You need to say it right because he cosplay as a girl,
Okay.
as a cross player.
Interesting.
Yep. And the backup artist, his girlfriend.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So I want to ask your opinion on this, right? Since on that topic,
Uh,
streaming and esports,
you have to.
especially when it comes to players,
You have
you
to.
have to you have to. I agree. You have to make money, but really affect their performance.
Here's the thing. If you are training and streaming, there's a few way for you to indicate to your viewers what you are doing. So one way example is Faker easiest because Faker is always online. Faker is always streaming. I don't know now because of Twitch and Korea. They already banned Twitch on Korea, so I don't know where he's streaming now. But what Faker does is that when he's streaming and when he's playing for fun, he have his microphone up, the sponsor is at the back, everything is like you can see it visually. But when you are training, the microphone is off. Even the webcam is off. They're just playing. You can just only see the gameplay and just a PNG picture.
But you can also see the build and all that, right?
Yes, yes.
You know.
I haven't seen anyone in Malaysia, I could be wrong, that is doing training and streaming at the same time. And they indicate that they are not streaming, that they are streaming to train and not streaming to have fun. I might be wrong because I don't really watch Facebook live stream that much or TikTok live stream now. But yeah, when people are saying, "Oh, don't training and streaming at the same time because you're going to leak your strat, this and that." So most people are not doing it.
Mm.
But I feel like it's a must for me. Like it's a must because as a pro player, you want to teach people how to play correctly, or what strats do you need to do in this season, this and that. So I would love to see people train and stream at the same time. So there is a win-win because you are promoting yourself at the end of the day.
That is always the conflict, right?
Yeah.
That is a very, very hard debate. When it comes to, I think there are two parts to it, right? There's the commercial part and there's also the performance part of it, which can be interrelated.
Yeah.
But if I want to talk about the performance part, um, I will always tell like before this, I've coached like a couple of teams before. I always tell them that, don't post your things on social media, like the game related strats on
Yes.
social media.
Yeah.
Even let's say you like this weapon, you don't say it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you don't put up a story says, this weapon I like, No, don't do that, okay? You can get exploited or however it is. So because one side is that performance. Another side is that you're right. You also want them to be uh, have increase in their personal brand so that they
awareness,
can
yeah.
also be sustainable on their own in the long term. It can also help the orgs and sponsors,
Yes.
the whole ecosystem and the economics of it. So it becomes a very difficult conflict. And honestly, I don't have an clear
Nobody
answer
have.
for that. It's very, very hard.
I think streaming is very tricky. You no matter how many logos you put on your stream, you are building your personal brand. So it makes the esports a lot different from traditional sports.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
You
You
don't see
can
people play football and live streaming their
No.
you can they can live stream. They don't live stream regularly, right? But in esports, you build a big personal brand regardless of your performance,
yeah. Yeah.
and then you can go to different org, and then you org can sell your jerseys when you are here. They don't have your image rights.
Yeah.
So what's a esports organization? It's not sports organization.
It's something that for me is the talent need to push.
Mm.
Like you can't really expect the organization to
Mm.
help you on this part, because whatever you do is your own image.
Mm.
Like I don't like to have a talent that is promoting the team too much. Like for me, I like the talent to promote themselves as the team. So when you change team, you are not tied to your team anymore. You are just branding yourself. That's for me what I like. Like let's just give an example. I have a YouTube team called
How do you do
NGMY.
that? Yeah.
So when I introduce myself, like even for here in the podcast, I lead myself as lead NGMY or lead LP. So I still have my own brand, and I differentiate my brand from NGMY. Try to at least, so people will remember me like in NGMY. They remember me as Lin, Rise of Kingdom. That's the meme that me and my friends is doing. But if I'm outside of the, like if I do casting, I didn't bring that name out. I didn't even speak about it. So people will differentiate to me, and I have like that's my circle, and that's my other circle, my esports circle, and my YouTube circle, which that's what I want for each talent in Malaysia, to build their own community, so that even if you need to jump boat to a different organization, even if you need to jump boat in different games, they will still follow you.
Yeah, that's always that's quite difficult actually
It's
to get to
hard.
find like.
Yeah.
But I also want to come back to like Xiao Ma also mentioned about the streaming money,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So actually, I've heard from you many times. You keep talk you talked about it a few times that in China the streaming money is very big. Okay, I'm gonna come to Southeast Asia context, right? Just so that he can clip and put in China, and we can be famous. But we used to have that sort of contract. All right. I used to sign that sort of contract. They pay you a fixed amount a month. You stream, but you have certain targets. You have viewership targets, watch minutes targets, and stream hour targets. Basically, right? The money was okay, and if you're like super big, right? Like if you're like solos level,
Yeah, yeah.
your money is like what, I don't know, $10,000 or
It
something.
doesn't count
That's
as Malaysian
crazy.
ringgit anymore.
Yes, we're talking about US dollars. Even
Yeah.
I was paid in US dollars, but my mom was just normal. So I'm not that rich, guys. Okay, mine was just normal. But there are a lot of people who are a lot more high viewership. But the point is that that used to be that used to run for a few years here. under one gaming platform,
Yes.
a social media gaming platform.
Not going to say it.
Yeah, they used to run for a few years, but after a few years, they cut the program
Yeah.
because, and I can see why they cut the program because it's very clear that how are you going to make money out of it? I do wonder as well. Like, okay, yes, great. The streamers, yeah, they make good money out of it. But as the platform, how do you make money out of it?
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, because the money out is just insane. It's
It's
crazy.
crazy, but it's not as crazy as you thought. Like
Mm.
there's more crazier stuff that's happening. A streaming platform that's the same color as the jersey.
Mm.
They spend millions
Mm.
to sign a contract
Mm.
with a platform. And there's also a video that I watched that he calculate how many money that platform
Mm.
loses every time a person stream. And
Mm.
he was calculating his own stream, which is 6 hours with 10,000 people. 6 hours for 10,000 people. Resolution is 1080p, 60 FPS. That platform loses close to 40,000 USD just to host
Mm.
the live stream. So how do they get money from that?
Because they also used to pay their partners a fixed
Yes.
amount, right? Yeah.
They are
So
still.
same goes.
Yes.
The blue and purple. Yeah. But since you pointed out the
Yeah,
colors,
yeah,
right? Might as well
yeah.
for our Spotify listeners
They
also.
know, they know.
The blue and purple platform they came up with that. Then you have the other platforms that is like the red platform,
The red
and then the
platform,
black
yeah.
platform comes in with the
Ah.
streaming, right? They don't pay their streamers. Okay, I'll give an exception to like maybe some who jump ship to the red platform from the
Yeah,
purple.
they need to
That-
sign
that-
contract, this
that,
and that.
that one is like the 0.0001% of the
Yes,
world.
yes, yes.
But if we talk about the Southeast Asia context, I don't think anyone has that.
No, I don't think so.
And from what I see, okay, so this is my experience, right, being with other platforms as well. So I would say the best model is what TikTok is doing. Now I'm gonna say good things about this so that I can mention their name. Okay, I think the best model is what TikTok is doing, right? So what TikTok does is that okay, they don't pay you a fixed amount to stream and do content fix every
Yeah.
month. They don't do that to you,
Okay,
right?
okay.
But what they do is that they enable you by helping you to grow your following. They have very good algorithm. We spoke about that in the last episode. Even on app, if you want to create content, it's so easy. I don't need to
Yes.
open a second app. I can do it everything on one app. Same thing. And because of that, they allow you to organically grow yourself.
Yeah.
So if you are organically able to grow yourself, you can get income from outside on your own. You can get your own sponsorship, you can do your own brand deals, whatever, and you become a bit more sustainable on your own. They don't need to come out the overhead to
Yeah.
maintain the streamers because if streamers are happy, say, oh, I can grow myself, which is, in my opinion, I think it's a very smart move because it allows me to be sustainable longer term rather than okay, one year, I get this money, great, but after that, what's going to happen to me?
It's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. So I like the TikTok model better on how they are treating their creators. So to come back to Xiao Ma's part in relevance in Southeast Asia, as far as I know, there is no more paid partnership programs for streaming anymore. Everyone is just going like you stream on your own, and if the platform is good for you, that's great. That's all.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, people will go to how many eyes is there on the platform. So people are jump shipping from the blue platform to TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok. We are talking those things, but TikTok, so I can see it.
Yes, I was going to mention TikTok or Douyin in China as well. So basically, at first we had all these kind of big stream platforms that backed all the backed by the VC money like Huya, Douyu, Xiao Ma or Panda or Zhan. Like there are so many stream platforms. They all stream game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, most content was gaming. Then some just went broken and some just closed their services. Some emerged, and the biggest two platforms was going to be merged as one company, Douyu and Huya. They both had Tencent own certain amount of stake in both platforms. So they trying to emerge the two biggest company, but it was banned by the government because of antitrust. So it makes sense. But slowly, people start to find out that they are not growing at all. They are not growing at all, and only old users go to that platforms every day.
Mm.
Where do new users go to? Go TikTok or Douyin. So it became a model like uh, streamers rely on Douyin to get new fans, and the new fans go to their stream platform just to pay the gifts to them. So Douyin become more and more and more important in this ecosystem. And the two biggest old gaming stream platform, they stay there, had all the trouble. They have to cut some people. They can't pay big bucks to buy esports tournament media rights. They basically they stored and they are just going down a little bit. That's why I think drove Tencent to make a deal with Douyin or TikTok so we can watch League of Legends, KPL, HOK, Honor King, and all the Tencent title in Douyin right now. Because Douyin, like you said, I didn't know much about the building the brands part, but you told me just before. So because Douyin is better to get new users interested in the content, and the Douyin has its own shops. You know, when you watch their, I don't know what's it like in TikTok
Back
in
when it,
Southeast Asia.
TikTok shop.
the TikTok
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have a small shop under their
Mm-hmm.
link,
Yep.
and basically,
TikTok shop. He has
Yes,
one.
visit my TikTok shop,
He
please.
has TikTok
Yeah.
shop.
okay. So 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 traditional. I say traditionally, but it's like only 5 7 years ago. So so all the gaming platforms, they are just doing marketing for the game company, but in Douyin they are doing ads for different brands like right.
Yep. Protection
Protection.
outside, protection inside. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So uh, so it opened up a lot of opportunity, which I think drove Tencent to lift the to break the wall to me to work with TikTok. I think it's very important, and we because League of Legends is kind of old now in China, like in everywhere, so they can't find anything else to attract new users. But they are doing a large PR work with Douyin right now. I can see the trend.
Yeah, it's of course we cannot deny the strength of content and also streaming platform
Yeah.
as a very as the as a key marketing tool for the game.
It's it's good to have a player that sorry, a talent or influencer that can promote the game. But there is a drama that's going on right now
Or
with
what
that.
is it? Yeah.
Is Persona 3.
Okay.
You know the new DLC that was released. XQC was one of the promoter,
The streamer,
the
right?
streamer
Yeah.
XQC, but it becomes bad because siapa ya buat Persona? Who's the creator? Atlas, okay. Atlas chose XQC as the promoter, but XQC in the previous game and the community has been well known to hate weeps and to hate like they have a strong hate relationship with people that like anime. So as a person, as a community that already hate animes but now become a sponsor of the game that is like well known with weeps, now it becomes bad blood. Like, how can you do that for your own fans? Atlas, do you not know the blah 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 blah? So yeah, it's going to be like quite tough lah if you are not really like if the publisher is not really in line with the streamer.
Moral of the story, as a marketing agency or influencer, streamer,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it, right?
yeah.
Always be neutral.
Don't,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good.
Like you don't need to like proclaim like, oh, I hate this. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you don't need to do that. You know,
See what
um,
happens. At least we're paying big money for that.
yeah. But of course, some people they are. I mean, people are entitled to their opinion.
uh,
All right, but if you look at the bigger side of things, like if this is your business, like that for XQC's case, obviously streaming
yeah.
advertising is his business, then you gotta stay away from those kind of controversial remarks, right? Naturally.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also I want to ask like in China, if you because they have a lot of games that is like not that well known. Do they have any problems with this game looks too similar to game number B like what
Oh
happened in
yeah.
Pokemon and Bell World right now? So do they have that kind of same problem?
For who? For streaming or
For streamers,
Or you're coming to launching the game in general.
like mostly for streamer because people are going to attack the streamer first, not the game game itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
one thing I think is a kind of sad as a esports fan, but it's just happened. It was that as the first of all the streaming platforms, gaming or esports is was a major part of the content.
Mhm.
But now we in China we have a lot of streamers who just sell goods. They are just sellers. Do you know? Do you guys
Hmm.
know about that?
Yeah, we have it here as well.
Like on Taobao or whatever platform you have there, they just sell goods. And everybody can stream now. So which makes, from my opinion, which makes gaming or esports as a much smaller portion of the whole content world.
When you say sell goods, right? They sell their own goods or they sell other people's goods.
No, no, like there are two kinds of channel. One is like the brand channel, like tech. Can I tech a tech brand channel?
Mhm.
So they can hire different people to sell their goods, and there are different kind. They are just streamer. They are streamer. They sell all the kind of goods like mouse pad or PC or even or even tickets for movies. They can sell whatever they like as long as they build a brand. So people, because so many people go to e-commerce websites nowadays or apps nowadays, so they can build a brand by just selling goods,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they make a lot of money. They become a lot of topics. They become the apex streamer right now.
Mm. And I think that's fair, right? Like,
They want to make money as well.
but if you think about it, right? If we come back to our first or earlier topic of this podcast, like I did talk about like, oh, we need to break the esports bubble, get like non-esports brand to see the esports investment and all that. This is actually one of it.
This is the next step.
This is the next step. It's just that they don't invest in the esports show or they don't invest in the esports org, but they invest or maybe org. But the
Maybe.
point is that they invest in esports streamers to do the same thing. So I think if that's happening, that is actually to me that's quite good.
I'm fine with that, but they need to be transparent. I don't want to watch a stream and they like, oh, what a nice cup of coffee. Yeah, Truman Show style of ads.
Mm.
It's not forceful.
Hmm.
If you are being generous and not generous, Jujo, what is it? Jujo?
Honest.
If you're being honest that you are selling this stuff, you are being sponsored on this and that, blah blah blah. I'm fine with that to watch them. In Malaysia as well, there's a few. I think you know a few MLBB that stopped becoming a professional player, now doing live stream selling One Piece card online.
Yeah, I think now yeah,
Yeah,
I see a
so
good amount of it.
I don't mind if that is their trajectory in life. But they are still like do gaming and stuff here and there. It's just the next step of esport, I guess.
Yeah, because I will always compare this with regular entertainment, actors or singers and all these people, right? If you notice that, like even like locally, like
Yeah.
actors or singers, they would have like another business
Yeah.
outside of their entertainment world. They open restaurants
Usually it's
or
food and
yeah, it's
beverage.
normally food, right? Because
Yeah.
yeah, I guess food is smart because yeah, you
Food
always
is
need
not
food.
seasonal. Everyone is eating.
It's not seasonal.
Yeah.
So if like regular entertainment
Mhm.
artists can do that, why not esports
Mhm. Mhm.
celebrities,
Yeah.
players, and all that? So I think that's absolutely okay,
Yeah.
as long as you don't do the illegal stuff, right? I think that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, I rather they'll sell that than cheat codes or
Oh yes,
or boosting or this kind of stuff. I rather they do that.
yes, yes. To me, boosting is I mean a lot of
That is yeah.
it's done a lot, but
It's a
I'm not a
lot.
fan of it. So
I don't.
I'm not a fan of it. But I understand why they do that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I become the you do you. But yeah, but if they can go to like okay, let's sell actual products. Like
Yeah.
let's say we use TikTok Shop for example, we become an affiliate. We sell actual product. We create content to sell actual products. I think that's great.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's just the way. It's just legitly. It's just what you're selling and why are you selling it. It becomes the topic of like why are you doing this in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely make esports content or gaming content in general. It makes it less important in the streaming world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get what he's saying, right? So that the esports content gets lesser because people want to go for affiliate selling content.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you this: what do you think is the best way to have the best of both worlds?
Can you say the question again?
Uh, what is the plan for the streamer so that can have a win-win on both selling a product and also esports? Like, how do you want to? What's the best strategy there?
That's actually not what I said. I mean, I said what I mean was the esports content in general is going to be less important, less be a smaller portion of the esports content of the streaming content in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the one streamer selling two kind of goods. So I don't think we can change the situations there.
Ah,
But to we have to adjust to it. So I think esports is never going to be like traditional sports. I think the difference will become bigger and bigger.
mm-hmm.
But if I were
We
to like share my experience, right? So I have esports content. I also have
Backcoding.
yeah, affiliate content.
Affiliate content.
Yeah, affiliate content, and they can not necessarily be esports. How I balance it is that well, I don't really have a balance also, right? I still do like maybe 70 to 80% esports content. 20% is affiliate, and that's kind of like I just kind of do for fun, and you get a little bit more income, so why not? Um, I still do esports content like 70 to 80% because I feel because I enjoy it. I like it. And this is my personal passion to talk about esports. And when I do affiliate content, I will always try to relate back to esports. Like let's say if I have a earbuds, for example,
Yeah,
I will always
gaming
say that,
earbuds.
oh, is this good for gaming or not? Although they did not promote it as gaming earbuds, they promote it as this is a music earbuds. But I was still okay. I'll test it out by playing a game, whether there's delay or things like that.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll still read it because I think my audience would want to see that you're an esports guy. I come to see esports in you. So if so I want to know more information about esports. That also means that if outside of esports products can use for esports or not.
Yeah.
Right. So that is how I kind of like find that balance. I think not really a balance, but that's kind of I kind of like merge the
middle
whole
ground or
the whole storyline to it. Yeah. But if
so
yeah.
so from my understanding, you like a lot of people, you guys are moving from esports content creator to an esports lifestyle content creator.
Yes,
I
that's
think
that's
that
literally
is a
it.
great
Yeah.
way to put it.
We are trying to make gaming as a lifestyle and put it in product. Like the other example was with Solo Stand, the shampoo promotion that he does. how do you make it into a gaming thing? Say, oh, you're playing game, your head is itchy, so use this product. You're not itchy. You can focus on your game more. It's like that doesn't really make sense as a non-gamer, but yeah, he's trying to like merge both of the
Yeah,
world.
you merge the storyline.
Yeah, the merge the storyline.
I'm sure maybe that's like one of the earlier versions. I'm sure as the storyline matures
Yeah, yeah.
or evolves, we will get a different storyline, but you will get to see that, oh, this is how it was first version and now version 10.
Yep, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I
That's
mean, it's good lah. It's good lah to have that
yeah.
merge.
That's why I want to do a road show like later this year. Like not a road show, a road trip this year, so I can visit different city
Mhm.
to like go to esports organization or associations there to do some interviews and maybe go to a good restaurant, local restaurant. Uh, Then maybe stay in a good uh we call it esports hotel here. Basically esport like a hotel with gaming PC.
Mhm.
So
Or
basically
like Sem9 Hotel. Shout out to Sem9 for the
Oh, we
studio.
don't have that yet.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
wrong
Okay.
yeah,
Disney.
yeah. I also want to make content like that. We
Mm.
cannot only do hardcore esports content anymore.
Yeah, I understand that. And you know, if you come to Malaysia, who knows? We can do an offline podcast with you.
Yes, you have to come to the
Sure.
studio.
We reserve a seat for you.
He's coming for M6, right? Yeah. You already booked your
Oh.
ticket.
Trying. I'm trying.
Already
So
booked
is
your
your house
ticket.
empty because we come to China? We sleep in his house.
Oh, if he comes here, you know he's taken care of. No
Ah,
worries,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
All the places
Yeah.
to eat.
But I think I want to also summarize the thought that the things that we
Yeah.
talk about, right? Like from the start of the podcast to here, and we did talk about the economics and business and all that. We or esports have to evolve. The next step of evolvement of esports, it is now to integrate with lifestyle.
Mhm.
And like what you say, is no longer to hard sell the storyline of esports, but I wouldn't say hard sell, but to find a way how do we integrate the storyline of lifestyle and esports, because we
Yeah.
all eat, drink, shower, and all that as well. We're no
Yeah.
different from any other person out there who's not esports.
Yeah, we don't have a shower head that is RGB.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't.
We don't have a RGB shower head. So we are still human beings at the end of the
Yes.
day.
Please don't create that product, okay?
The-
It's a
no,
waste
no.
of money. Yeah, so I think that if there are like future conferences of esports and all that, and maybe something that you will be attending in the future, I hope that this will be a topic as well on how the integration happens, and if that becomes a bigger topic, then we might be able to find that burst the bubble
Yep.
to move outside esports to integrate everything and make esports go out and non esports to come in.
Okay,
And
let me. I want to ask you a question. What is the best merge of lifestyle and esports that you want in the future?
okay, let's go to Xiao Ma first.
Yeah.
Do you have what you want?
Or you want my example first because I
Oh,
have-
okay, you have one. Okay. let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before this, we have Cyber Cafe,
All right.
and now we have Mama. Mama is like a food place that we eat. When are we going to have a gaming Mama?
Or like a
Every
game.
table have a charging spot for you to charge, and a public hotspot for you to do tournaments.
Right, like restaurant plus
Yep, restaurant
cyber cafe, right?
plus Cyber
Yeah.
Cafe, like ATO,
Hmm?
but more like generic.
Yeah, you went to ATO recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ATO is just too specific that it doesn't feel like a cafe anymore. It feels like a gaming spot. But I want like a baba, like a side road food stall, but have gaming implemented into it. That's my dream.
Okay.
You know what I was thinking?
Ah, okay.
It's not a new thing, but I think if cloud gaming works the best, that's the lifestyle
Oh, you want cloud gaming?
thing.
Okay.
So I can do gaming wherever I am, right? I can play whatever I want. I don't. Sorry, I don't play mobile games, but I want to play. I want
We're
to
talking
play.
about gaming, don't worry.
I want to play good PC games
Ah.
whenever and wherever I want.
You know, because
When
he was
even-
saying about PC games, PS5 already have the cloud gaming thing. Yeah, but PC
But-
doesn't have.
So if if my phone can play whatever game I want, so I can play it in any restaurant, in any hotel, like even in the middle of nowhere. You know,
Okay, I
that's the
agree.
lifestyle I want.
But isn't cloud gaming already like up there? It's just
It's
that the
bad.
stability is, yeah, that was the last I
Yeah,
heard.
It's like you
Yeah.
press that you need to wait like 2 hours for them to jump. You know, the
Uh,
delay
uh,
is horrible.
yeah, that was last I heard. And maybe
Yeah,
that's why it kind of like, didn't really take off.
yeah, but we have 5G now, so who knows?
Oh, but in China probably has like 10G or something. I
I
don't
think
know.
I think
we
7G
have
is.
10 cent.
Oh, good one,
I
good
know on
one.
China they already have 7 hertz Wi-Fi,
Do you guys? What's your G there? It's like 7G.
but not G hertz.
No,
It's for the
hertz.
Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah,
But what?
Like like 5G is out, but it's not really helpful, right? So
yeah.
you don't only need the what's the word? The fast what's the word? The you
Infrastructure.
don't infrastructure. Yeah,
Uh,
yes. You don't only need infrastructure. You need the service. You have to have.
yeah,
I can't do anything. I can watch a movie online smoothly with my 4G, right? I don't need 5G. So
yeah.
so if there's a no 5G game, I'm not using 5G.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, because I just upgraded my plan,
mm,
my Maxis plan to 5G, and it's frustrating, like,
mm,
legitimately frustrating. If they want to make it if you want to make it like 6G or 7G, they need to make it smoother transition
mm.
to
Yeah.
the connection. It's horrible.
Well, so far I haven't had complaints. So,
Are
I
you
mean, for
using
myself,
5G?
there is. Yeah, I do.
Uh,
But I'm mostly in Wi-Fi areas.
also, you
It's either home. You come to studios.
Yeah.
You come to the office. It's
yeah.
like the
Same.
majority of it is in
It's
Wi-Fi
because I'm
areas.
driving, and my internet sometimes used while driving, so
Mm,
the connection is like,
right.
ish, it's bad.
So I think the technology, like the old Bill Gates saying content is king. So technology and the content has to develop together.
Aha,
Yeah.
yep,
Yes.
I agree.
If people don't need like a 5G content, they are not using 5G.
Hmm.
Mm.
So so maybe like VR or XR, that kind of stuff that need 5G
Ooh.
network, then maybe we
Yeah.
will hope for 6G, 10G in the future.
Hmm.
I have to say this. We're actually a very good infrastructure when it comes to our Gs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to our Gs. Yeah. I'm actually very confident about like that's why when we was announced like host a couple of World Series,
Yeah.
including like M6 and all that, I know we'll be a good
We
host.
can, we
We
can.
will be a good
Yeah.
host, infrastructure wise and all that. That's why Xiao Ma has to come here. Yeah, it's a very good reason. We will be a good host. I'm very confident about that. When it comes to food, infrastructure, transportation,
Hospitality.
hospitality,
Yep.
language.
Hmm.
I think we're all good here. Yeah, but okay, my turn to answer the question,
Okay.
right? I would want to see. I think this is kind of like a boring answer, and I
Okay.
think it's already
Is it?
happening. But I'd like to see more. I want to see the integration of a lifestyle and also esports content. But what I mean is that,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I'll take example Arcane, League of Legends Arcane.
Okay.
All right, it was a very good show.
Okay. Okay.
It was amazing, right? Then you have Dota also had it was called a
Blood.
Bloodborne.
No, that blood.
No, Bloodborne is the game.
Yeah, it's blood
Yeah,
something.
Dragon's Blood. Yeah,
Dragon's Blood, yeah, Dragon's Blood,
Yes,
yeah.
Dragon's Blood and all that.
The entertainment version.
The entertainment version and the arcane one was super good.
That was.
Riot.
I feel that is the main reason why everyone is doing it now. It's
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah, and then after that, people wanted to try to get into it, which is great. So I want to see more of that because I think with that sort of integration, even if you don't play the game, you watch it just because it's a nice series,
Mhm.
right? It's a nice anime cartoon, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then if you happen to like esports after that,
Oh,
then
great.
okay, great. Like
Great,
it's
yeah.
like a channel, but you start with like, oh, it's a nice show.
Mm.
I like the artwork and all that.
Yeah.
Then maybe after that you happen to watch a League of Legends tournament, and you go like, oh, that's the same character that I
Yeah.
saw. I know the lore now,
Yeah,
so I can
yeah.
relate to it. So I kind of like having more of that. I would like to see more of that.
So let me ask you this: should True Sight? I know True Sight they haven't done True Sight in a while.
True Sight, please come
True
back.
Sight should be a movie that's catering to non-gamers.
I think that one is hard. If you are a non-gamer
Yeah,
or you're a non-esports guy, you cannot
the feeling is not there,
understand.
but you can still do it.
Okay, can? Okay, yes, okay, I can, but you need to change the way the storyline is told. You
Yes.
need to give like, who is this people and all that. Because True Sight just jump straight into the final, you already know who are the teams.
There's no introduction to
No
the team.
intro.
There's who is this? Is this
Yeah.
the main character? Yeah. If you want a Dota movie that is based on True Sight but recreated.
So you make it like, you know, like those Coach Carter, that movie. So it's like, it's a basketball movie.
Okay.
But it's about the coach, you know, being very motivational to the team. The
Okay.
team from being a flop become a superstar team, things like that. So True Sight can actually be recreated into something like that.
Yeah, like that.
Especially with the OG story and all that. So yeah, I would say that if it's recreated into that sort of format, great, thumbs up. Then you're hitting into the merging the lifestyle and esports type of thing. Yeah.
I think you guys ask too much from Valve.
Yes, I have always been Valve. Please, community needs you. You know, community needs you, Valve. Please, I please.
I mean, as a first of my career, as a beginning of my career, I try to think, okay, can esports stuff attract non-esports people? Now, sorry, I have given up. So,
Interesting.
so esports can only attract a certain small group of the player, which can make it a successful esports. Right? They can. The goal has to be attracting as many player of the game. If a not general public person, if they don't play the game, it's really hard and too hard. It's too hard to educate them to everything in the content that you mentioned. And if you do things like that, it will make it boring for the true fans.
Yeah. Yep. You need to choose.
You
But
can-
if you think about it, like Arcane caters to non-esports people and esports people.
It's because
Yeah.
they didn't implement any gameplay to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's maybe that's the world builder, right?
World building.
It's
Yes.
it's
yeah.
it's world building. It's not related to esports itself. It's not like a general public version of True Sight. It's different.
Yeah, it is. Like True Sight is truly esports.
You know what movie that I want from gaming?
Yeah.
Warhammer. Oh. Warhammer movie will convince the normal people because it's almost similar to like a normal war, and the machine and the mech is like cool.
Yeah. You can make it like Starship Troopers.
Yes, that's super
sort of thing.
can be close to like Star Wars. You know, normal people like it. I think that is like the perfect gateway for like both. Some people will say Magic, some people will say D&D. Because D&D movie, did you watch the D&D movie?
The latest one, no.
Yeah, the comedy one.
No.
I was actually catering to
It's-
the normal people.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's great. Yeah, I feel like
It's great. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just frustrating because for hardcore people, it's not that great because they didn't go too in depth. It's just basic level.
But it's good
me,
for new people.
Yeah, I don't know much about D&D, so that movie is great for me.
I give another example of hardcore. The movies that try to go hardcore, they are from games, right? Remember Warcraft?
Oh my god!
That was.
Oh, that was too hardcore.
That was. If you don't know, if you don't have basic, you're absolutely lost.
I was watching that movie. It's like I'm watching a video on tutorial how to play. Reintroducing the clan. I need to like, I can't
there's
remember who this
so
is.
much things happening.
Which clan?
And they even had a view from the sky at the very end, just like you play the game.
The god mod. The god mod.
So I think that there was like the earlier versions, obviously before Arcane and all that, and that didn't really cater to the normal audience. Even like for me who plays Warcraft, I know the human, the orc, and all that, but
Yeah.
it's still just too much. Yeah, so
Balance it out a bit.
yeah, but if you think about it now, if you think about it, the overall scope, right? That may
Ah.
be the version one. Arcane is version two, which is like starting to be kind of okay,
Yeah, it's
right?
good. People can accept it.
So version three,
Ooh.
yeah.
So who's going to be the director?
Yeah, that's where I'm getting to. Right? I hope that this
Yeah.
there will be this refinement, and when we reach that point, we will have hopefully more content like this
Yeah,
out
and
there.
there was a
As
movie in Malaysia for Mobile Legends. They were making like a mockumentary style movie. That was actually good. I don't know the title. It's a Mobile Legends Astro collab.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
That one is
They got teams. There's a Jago Kampong.
gamers
Just something
something.
gamers at the back.
Oh man,
But that one is actually good because it caters to the normal people and it still educate them about how esport works. Like,
gamers mangkok.
Gamers Mangkok, there's like a teaching about organization, the esport organization, the prize pool cut, and this and that. Is there a drama under it?
No, but it's just that I think maybe because we are into esports,
Yeah,
when
of
we
course
watch
lah.
it, you're like,
You know
Yeah.
why I know it's good?
and,
My wife watches it and she enjoyed the show.
and she's not esports person, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So that's why I feel like, okay,
It's
that's good.
catered for them.
It's catered for them.
The,
It's not for
the
us.
normies.
Yeah, they have a player, a professional player named Duos. Solos.
Oh,
They have like an
okay.
invention.
So it's not catered for us.
It's
So
not
I
for
could
us.
understand why maybe I couldn't like enjoy the show as much as I would like.
Yeah, I just background music, just letting it play.
could you send me the link afterward,
It's behind a paywall, I think.
There is a
or maybe just
Okay, we'll talk about it offline. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I think Arcane is definitely the great example you gave. Like we are talking when we are talking about esports and the lifestyle, we are. I think we are trying to expand the definition of esports. It's not only about the hardcore gaming, not about the players and the tournament itself. It's about all the experience they have and that we have, right? So it can conclude all the gaming content, and it can conclude all the PCs we use, all the cars we drive when we are listening to esports podcasts, right? Right. So I think that's the direction. We are not going to make hardcore content to make people believe this is a thing. We are making people to slowly get into our lifestyle. We can share our love for this kind of life together. Then maybe a certain group of them will become interested in the hardcore esports like we do. I think that is the goal.
I like that. I like that
That's a
angle.
good
That
conclusion.
angle, lock, chop, set, done.
Yep, that's great
Yep.
then.
That's the highlight of the show right now. Yeah, like we don't hard sell basically.
we don't.
We don't. We just share that why we love it. And this is the lifestyle, and we're also normal people like everyone else. So everyone can just come together.
Yeah, it's mostly make it natural.
Natural. Yeah.
Don't force.
Don't force it. Yeah. We don't need to always tell that. We have this is where the money can be earned with the biggest $1 million prize pool and all that. But in reality, only the top 1% probably gets that.
Yeah, it's not even the
Yeah.
same team every year. Teams keep changing.
Yeah, but the top 100% showers. So, okay. We'll have a conversation outside of camera for that, right? But yeah, the top 100% eats. Okay, yeah, the lifestyle stuff.
That's my
yeah.
style. So that's why there's a commercial for showering.
All right. Any other last topics from you before we wrap up the show?
I think since we are exploring the streaming world topic right now, so we can talk about it later in the future. Like one thing is that because of like we said, streaming is making a lot of personal stars, not organizational star like you.
No, like you.
You.
So the co-stream became so big in esports. So we can talk about stuff like that in the future. And let's see. I don't, I don't really have anything else to say.
He's thinking about next episode already, not
Okay.
even the
Yeah.
closing of this
Yeah,
episode.
and actually, there's so many things we can talk about.
There's
Like
so
I
much.
like outside of the podcast, right? Like I would have like a casual call with Xiao Ma, and then we can talk for 3-4 hours. We can talk from esports to politics to everything that I cannot say on this
Speaking
broadcast.
of politics, exactly.
Yeah, we can talk all that for like 3-4 hours, and we have to hard stop ourselves to like it's already 2 o'clock in the morning. We gotta stop somewhere. Okay, it's like okay, we'll continue the conversation next time. But it's always a pleasure speaking to Xiao Ma. Very very knowledgeable about a lot of things inside outside of esports as well. And like what you say, hopefully we get to see him in person in the studio.
Yep. Sit there.
Sitting here, maybe M6 or maybe earlier than
Earlier,
M6.
yeah,
you
we
know,
confirm we will come early.
yeah, one of the PMs, you know. There's so many PMs happening. Or any other event.
Yeah, you want to see
Yeah.
Mobile Legends firsthand?
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Yeah, in this server. So anyway, thank you so much for everyone watching out there. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let us know what are the topics that you want us to talk about in the next episode, because we got tons of them. Don't forget to share this with one other person that has not seen this podcast as well, because we'd like to spread the thoughts of the Asian Esports Exchange, where we share ideas with each other across different regions. So that's a
I
wrap.
forgot
Oh,
about the name.
Asian Esports Exchange. Yeah, that's
Can
our,
I add a,
yeah.
Can I add another thing?
There you go.
Like I don't know who's listening right now, but if you are listening and you have something to share with us and talk about us about your esports experience in your own country or area, you can contact us. We can put you on the show and we can talk
Yes.
about it more.
Of course.
That's the name, right? Esports Exchange.
Yes. We have plans to actually get people from other countries as well on the show. Yes.
Oh, we need a new logo for that.
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
even have
Well,
podcast start Malaysia.
we're getting there. We're step by step, okay? We just got a new audio upgrade.
Yeah.
So,
one by one.
Yeah. So we wrap up the show for now. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Also share it to the next person just beside you. Bye.
Bye.